Lagers, Pilsners, India Pale Ales, double IPAs, Doppelbocks, Belgian Goldens. That's right, it's all here on another round of Brewsday Tuesday. Here's DreZ and Big Nate.
It's definitely not here today. Should have picked a better round two rejoin. It is Brewsday Tuesday after all, though. Brought to you by the Cellar Restaurant and Six Pack Store in downtown Blacksburg. I just noticed the tab on this has a little lightning bolt on it. That's cool. Black tab too at that. It is Brewsday, and we are drinking non-beers, the weird stuff that's in the cooler near the beers. That's always blows my mind that there's all these different flavors and this and that. So we all know Mike's Hard Lemonade. I feel like they've been around for a long time.
I think they just picked up the slack from Bartles and James.
Yeah, they're one of the
hey, well, B&J wine coolers are no longer a thing. Let's hit up the lemonade game.
So, and I'm sure they started as just lemonade, and then there was different flavors and whatnot. This is actually a Mike's Harder, i.e. higher ABV, so it's 8% rather than the usual, probably I would assume 5. But this is not just the harder, this is the blood orange version, which there was no shortage of different harder flavors. And I remember you did mention watermelon before. I specifically avoid any and everything watermelon because I just know that'll be terrible. I don't have very high hopes for this one. I think I might have even less hopes. Oh, there was a watermelon version of yours, I believe, as well.
Well, I'm glad you didn't choose that because
that one's
watermelon's not my favorite.
Well, you already got to roll the dice on that one. I'm not too sure how that's going to be.
This is the second time in my entire Brewsday Tuesday history that I've been actually legitimately kind of scared. The first Huck and I did, the grocery store started selling near liquor, which they still sell. It's liquor made. It's not distilled. It's made using grapes.
It's like
a vodka substitute.
Where it's like 15% or something, or 20. I guess as high as they can go. Is it 20?
I think they're
18.
18.
Maybe they can't break 20.
And they weren't horrendous, so it worked out well. But I gifted Huck 2 of the 3 bottles because I didn't want to take them home because I didn't really want them. And
what's this? This is quite orange. Smells orange.
He got to his destination and sent me a picture of the bottles. Oh, they fell out of the truck and they just shattered on the ground. All right. Yeah, I didn't want to drink them either. Yeah. So I just threw mine out as well. This is actually legitimately a terrifying experience. It's the Steel Reserve.
You're saying it's a terrifying experience. You don't know that yet.
Alloy it could be delicious. Spiked Blue Raz, 8% ABV, and they don't give you a sugar count. But I know it's high. I know it's probably higher than the Twisted Tea and the lemonade we had in the first round combined. It has to be.
Just from the smell alone?
Yeah. It smells like a liquid Jolly Rancher.
So here's what I wonder is
40 mixed in.
So this is, I guess maybe we should do a little research, or should have done. Steel Reserve Alloy Series. So it's not beer. This is its own thing.
It's malt beverage.
Okay.
And that's all it gives it.
What color? What color is it? You haven't even.
We're gonna find out.
Okay, so you could.
It's blue. Of course, it's blue. Why wouldn't it be blue?
Yeah.
And blue raspberry is my favorite flavor in candy and for Loco.
Well, then I might have. Maybe I've.
No, I think you made the right choice based on who I am as a person, but I know I'm not gonna feel well tomorrow.
Well, I will say this: first sip of this blood orange, not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's very orange, very sweet. Yeah, we're gonna be.
That looks like antifreeze. Or not antifreeze. It's usually green. Windshield wiper fluid.
Wiper fluid, or I would just say like a melted Slurpee. And it probably has about that same amount of sugar content. You might be right. That's blue. It matches your shirt, actually. Your Bobcats Blue Ridge. Maybe that could be their sponsor.
Their official drink.
The official Bobcat.
Look, we suck. Have some Spiked Blue Raz. Look, we're great. Have some Spiked Blue Raz. Go to the locker room after they win that bodes well.
It works well. I'm wondering 2 things. A, I want to see your reaction after a sip. I think it's not going to be as bad as we let on.
Oh, no.
Is it?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. And I'm also wondering if it's going to turn
It's
your tongue blue. It looks like it would be the sort
all
of
in
thing
the
that-
aftertaste. No, I mean it would be in college. I would have definitely gone for this.
Yeah.
I'm an adult now, though.
That's the thing, man. These all are, and I mentioned college. The Mike's Hard Lemonade thing, that's like high school, drinking that sort of stuff. I mean, it's sweet. It's got booze, and you don't have to worry about a hangover because back then you're such a young little lad. You're a lightweight. You could only have, you could have two and be buzzed or whatever. So it wouldn't do you as bad as, I mean, I couldn't even, if I drank, I don't know, the harder, obviously it's 8%, but still the amount it would take me to even get a buzz versus the hangover I'll have strictly from sugar, it's going to be brutal.
I've nailed the taste down.
What does it taste like?
You've been to a Kmart, I'm sure.
At once
You
upon a
remember-
time, I don't know if they exist anymore.
I don't know. Yeah,
they
they,
totally
definitely
done?
don't exist.
They're
They're
totally
done.
Okay.
But they used to have a snack stand, much like Target did for a while. I think Walmart had their own, but they had the icy machines
Yeah.
and they had the blue raspberry icy. That's exactly what this tastes
Well,
like.
that's what I was
So
saying.
if you want some like Kmart nostalgia action and you want to buzz and then like cry about your life to like some Loretta Lynn albums later, Steel Reserve Alloy Series Spiked Blue Raz, they got you covered.
Yeah, well, that's what I
Yeah.
said. It looks like I'm.
Oh,
built
it's not
to
a Slurpee.
Well,
It's an
Slurpee,
icy.
Okay, is there a difference? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, you can get
To me, it's all the same.
a Coca-Cola Slurpee. You're gonna get like a RC Cola icy.
Okay,
So there's a tier.
really? So, to me, I would think so. Icy is not the.
Traditionally, from what I've seen, they just have the cherry and the blue raspberry. And they're very like, it's just straight syrup. There's some flavor distinctions in the Slurpees. I'll give them some credit. 7-Eleven
so.
hasn't gotten where they've gotten without knowing what they're doing.
I guess I'm just not a icy Slurpee guy, so I wouldn't know that. I don't know if I ever really go for those. So I'm sure I've had them in the past. 7-Eleven day, you get them for free or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I not my thing.
Vastly prefer Slurpee. Icy's just a terrible snow cone.
So Slurpees, there's like all sorts of flavors.
Oh yeah, they have a good pina colada.
And you can do the.
pina
Can you do
coladas.
the? Is it like at a, weigh your own, build your own froyo where they have them split too, where you have like a little half and half action going. And so it's like, oh, this is the pineapple Slurpee and here's the mango. So you got them in between, you got a pineapple mango.
For a while, that was kind of like one of their marketing campaigns. I used to collect Slurpee cups because they had these limited edition cups. They were split down the middle.
Oh,
So you could go real crazy because you got
and it wouldn't even
12
so you
ounces
could
of
even
one,
have,
12 ounces of another. But then on the bottom, they had baseball pogs. So I was trying to collect them all. I collected them all. And I can tell you, I thought, hey, it's
this will be
worthwhile
worth
investment.
something one day.
I like drinking Slurpees and absolutely worthless. It really just kind of hammered in my addiction to sweet, sugary things. But you can go real wild with a Slurpee machine.
Well,
If you go to a good 7-Eleven, oh,
Well, now I think we're going to tangent. So you said baseball pogs.
yeah.
So like
Those
pogs,
little round- yeah.
caps, but the bottle cap game.
Yeah,
But then they had baseball players on them or something.
Yeah.
So like
And they're
baseball cards,
holographic.
but pog-
Yeah. And
well, that's pretty sweet.
you couldn't tell.
This
what you
should
were
be
getting.
worth something.
So they had like these like cardboard covers just taped in there. So you'd have to tear them off. So you go in, it was every Tuesday was Slurpee day to see what the new pogs were. And there were only 40 in the set. I think they did it over one summer. I got all 40.
Wow, that's impressive.
Kind of annoyed that it was
How many
worthless.
duplicates did you get?
Oh, so many.
I mean, that's what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
save-
If you got 40, you don't save the duplicates, but damn, yeah. So do you still have them?
Yeah.
Sweet,
Still worthless.
dude. I still got my pogs too. Still got my pogs, my slammers. We might need to have a little game night, a little pog action, dude. When's the last time you played pogs? And did people like, I mean, I remember we actually did play it. I remember playing like my cousins and stuff at my grandma's house when I was a kid. But I feel like it was one of those things where you just sort of bought them and collected them and didn't even play the game. Like I envisioned
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. Did people actually play them or did they actually just collect them?
So I think people just collect them. I think a lot of it's prefaced on like you know how you've probably encountered people who were like alive and young children during the Great Depression, so they just started hoarding everything, and then they have kids, and then they're told, "Hey, your GI Joes are going to be valuable someday, or your Barbies or whatnot," and then those
If you keep them in the package.
yeah, if you keep them in the package, and then like Beanie Babies was a thing.
Oh,
Tamagotchi, like there are so many toys that I was told like, yeah, this is going to be valuable someday, and it's really not.
if you don't open it and you have the very first like edition or whatever, then it probably would be.
Like I think the one that I have the most experience with is Super Nintendo, and the highest cartridge I've seen is like Earthbound. Regularly sells for like $300. Adjusted for inflation, that's about what it was selling for when it was first released. So that's not really a investment.
Yeah. Yeah. We could go down that depressing road of I like to think I have a pretty respectable video game collection that probably would be worth a decent amount of money, but I would never want to give it up. You know, I put too much
No.
time and effort.
And I think
into
that's
it
my
and-
point, is that's where the value is. It's the memories,
Mhm.
not the dollar value.
Exactly. So when are we gonna have a pog off? when are we gonna get this going, dude?
So I
How many
gotta go-
pogs do you have? So I don't have a lot. I think I just kept like the ones that I like the most. I think I thinned the herd because we also had the pog maker. Did you have that?
We did not.
Oh, dude, that was fun. Where you could just make your own pogs. They were just like sticky, and you would just put whatever. You could take like a picture or just anything that you wanted that was like paper that you just wanted to pop on top of it, and then you had your own pogs you were making.
I was never outside of the baseball ones. I was never like that serious about collecting. I was more into baseball cards, which is where the baseball pog thing came from. So I can confidently tell you, still intact, there's at least 40. Back in the day, probably over 100.
Oh, dude, hundreds. I mean, for sure. But now I think I only have like the one little pog case full,
Yeah.
and then a few slammers that I like the most. Did you get the slammer with like your name on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good times. Good times.
I mean, the 90s had the best toys. Like
Hands down.
shopping for children now is not as fun.
Do you think that the toys by comparison, you know, it's all a nostalgia thing, obviously. Every generation probably thinks they had the best toys. But nowadays it's not even toy because it's all digital. It's all everybody just plays
Exactly.
video game, you know.
So I think 90s was the last great push.
of actual
2000s
toys.
they started moving. Like, do you remember? And I kind of personally mentally can pinpoint it. I think the launch of the Tamagotchi. And do you remember hit clips? Those little terrible boom boxes you'd get like 18 seconds of a song.
Well, there were the hit clips. There was pocket rockers.
Yeah.
I think I had a pocket or actually I might have got my sister's hand-me-down pocket rocker. And then there was another one that was similar to that.
I think like looking ahead, I know from our living room that's filled with toys that the only thing that I've seen that really like has any stay power is something like Legos. We've got there are these things called magnetiles. Imagine Legos, but they're like flat planes with magnets all around the side, and you can build these like crazy towers and forts and stuff with them.
That sounds dope.
They're awesome. They're also super cheap.
Okay. Along the Legos. So there was Legos. Those are a staple, been around for decades. Do you remember
Playmobil.
what were they called? Connects? Do you remember those?
My stepbrother was super into
Didn't
Connects.
quite
I was
take
into
off.
Legos.
Didn't take off like
I
Legos.
won that battle.
Yeah.
He was also a Sega Genesis kid. I was a Nintendo kid.
I'm with you on
I
that.
picked the winning
I was,
battle.
I was team Nintendo for sure. But yeah, I don't think Connects really took off. They
No.
tried, but
Well, they broke too easily. Legos are damn near indestructible. There are people who still to this day get hospitalized from stepping on Legos. You step on a Connects, it's going to break. You're not.
And then what were the metal ones
Oh God, I remember exactly what you're talking about.
where it was, oh gosh, what was that called?
It was connector erector set.
Erector set. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
Dude, this could be the longest Brews Day ever if we just start going down the
All
nostalgia, the toy nostalgia trail.
Do you remember the hoop and wheel?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Jacks? Do you guys still play Jacks? All right. It is Brews Day Tuesday. We're drinking non-beers, and obviously these 8%ers are getting to us. The nostalgia factor has set in with the Mike's Harder Blood Orange Lemonade, which frankly tastes better than I thought it would have. It definitely packs a very orange punch. And if you're watching on the Facebook Live or the YouTube, it is very orange, as you would imagine. Honestly, I think I might like this better than the last one, mainly because it's got the higher ABV, which is obviously big in my book.
Have you ever had a
It's-
blood orange?
A proper one? I don't know. Maybe not. Are they
I've
just
not.
super? Are they like just very dark?
I
would
I
imagine, like,
assume
the darkest of orange.
the only time I've had them is in beverages.
Mm-hmm. That one's going down pretty easy. I'm gonna give this one a 4. I feel like it's hard to give any of this stuff over a 4, but that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So
But again, all this stuff, like I know I'm going to be sick to my stomach tonight because of all this sugar. This is
I'm probably sleeping on the couch just by choice because no one needs to be around the upset stomach I'm gonna have. Steel Reserve Alloy Series Spike Blue Raz. I don't hate it. I
Yeah.
really don't hate it. And I want to so badly. You're gonna have heartburn if you're above a certain age. You're going to need to balance it out with sugar. I wish I had brought Gatorade.
that would be a good Gatorade cutter.
Yeah,
Like the Loco.
it's delicious. It tastes like candy. For what it is, I'm giving it a 4.
So same deal. All right.
It's a good impulse buy.
So there you go. I mean, if you do want to have a break from beer for whatever reason, again, I think a lot of these you'd feel better drinking it during the day and maybe cutting it with something. So or if you just need a break
You
or
ever
if you
been
want to
awake
try
when
something
a hangover
new,
sets in?
or maybe you're with somebody that doesn't like to drink beer. Don't shun them. Give them a try. You might actually be pleasantly surprised. They might be a bit more palatable than you might imagine. That's a wrap on Brewsday Tuesday. I think next week we need to get back to proper beer, though. You down with that?
100% agree.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Like I said, I went to the cellar this past weekend and got some good stuff from Mikey. So we're
Thank
set.
God.
We're set for the next couple weeks. And of course, Halloween falls on a Tuesday this year.
Buddy.
Just a couple weeks away. Got to work on our costumes. We'll figure that out. That's another that's a different day. We'll take a quick break. We'll get back with the tunes. JT will take over next right here on 105.3 The Bear. Oh, so you.